the way we started. We started, was it last year?
About last November or so.
Well, no, it wasn't until we first started. Yeah. I had written some songs, and then kind of got the guys together. I asked David if he wanted to play, and he was down for it. And Jay was already down for it. And I asked my buddy Andy, who's not in the band anymore, Andy Hernandez.
Only because he moved away.
Yeah, he had to get up and move to LA, and that's where he resides now.
To Andy.
Yeah, to Andy.
Andres.
But yeah, we played some of the songs that I wrote, and then we started creating some of our own stuff and just having fun with it. And we only played like a handful of shows, and then
about 3 or so.
Yeah, like 3 or 4
actually.
Four. And then we had to take a break for a while, and then we kind of regrouped with another. Kind of did a little switching around. Jay was playing bass before, and he switched over to guitar. And then Zach came in to play bass, so he basically switched with Jay. And then we started. I think our first show was in June of this year, 2012.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we kind of started off there. Started playing shows again, and I had written some new songs, and we kind of started off with that. We didn't play any of the old stuff. So yeah.
I actually met David back in 2005. I'm actually normally a guitar player, and I came from like kind of like a indie metal mix-up or whatever. I don't know how to really describe it, but
Do you have a band?
Yeah, I've had like tons of bands in between this one. Played drums, guitar, sang.
What were some of the band's names?
I did Inspire the Epic. I did Fall of Atlas. I've done. My Dog is Half Wolf. That was kind of a weird indie project. But yeah, back in 2005, I met David. I just kind of randomly was looking for a drummer, and I just sent everybody that looked like they might be a musician like a pre-made message on MySpace, and he responded, and he came through, and we just kind of hit it off real quick, and we jammed together for a while, and then he moved to LA to pursue like a film school.
I did photography for a little while.
Yeah, photography is, yeah. And then I'm actually related to Zach. He's my second cousin.
Yeah.
And
the way that we kind of hooked up, well, because I had heard about him, you know, but we hadn't really like met. And then since I knew David, and they were really good friends, he suggested him as a bass player, and I said, oh, you know, that'd be great, you know. So we finally actually kind of met each other when we started playing together in Pro Wings, which is kind of weird.
Related. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I knew, you know. So we got 2 Zachs in the band and we're related, so go figure. It's kind of weird, but that's how we kind of started. And then I met Jay like 2009 or 2010.
No, I think it was 9.
It was through mutual friends, you know, and but then I found out that he played music. And I didn't know, like after we had met, that he played music. So he was in some previous bands.
Yeah, I was in the Gypsy Cab Company from El Paso, the Reeds, Selby Reed. I started this solo project called the Science Fair back when I was like a junior in high school, which is actually still alive today. It started off as just acoustic and just me writing bullshit songs, and then I stopped doing it for a very long time, and then Andy, our older guitarist, who I replaced, because before I was the bass player, he really liked it, and then so I made him a copy, and then he says you should do it again. But the thing is that this time I wanted it to be very different from what it was. Like Science Fair to begin with was the very meaning. It was just like a side project. It was just a project. It was just like, you know.
To me, it seemed a little more jolly.
Yeah. And then Zach and I, he introduced me to Duster and all these like to Helvetia, and then I don't know, like the Science Fair took like this major turn. Like it was like an alternate universe, and it was just the things became a lot slower, a lot more repetitive, and a lot more depressing.
I related to it because I love that stuff too.
Yeah, so no, well, I mean, like it's not to sound emo. Not to sound like emo erotic or anything like that. but
Emo
like-
erotic. Yes, feeling erotic.
Well, I mean,
It's gotta
like
be
you're making
erotic
it
if
seem
it's gotta
like
be
you're
emo.
making it seem like we're like people are like happy but sad at the same time to cut themselves. Nothing like
Got
that.
my pocket of razors, son.
Exactly. This guy carried no. But I mean, like I was going through a lot of like alternate
Erotic cutting.
major life change. I was going through a lot at the time, so the science fair turned around for like did a complete like alternate universe, like 380 or 180, whatever people call it. But
There's a 180 and 360.
Yeah, bro.
It's really catchy. He would write stuff for the science fair, and I liked the science fair stuff that he showed me, you know, the old stuff, and then he started showing me like new stuff, and I really enjoyed it. So I jumped on the science fair too, and so we still carry that on when we're able to. And
still, yeah, actually, we're gonna start finishing that album up really soon. Actually,
there's actually a Facebook page and Reverb Nation page for the science fair as well, but
yeah.
and then I think we already kind of like mentioned
bases,
with
yeah.
well we mentioned he played with us a lot, Awesome a lot. That's how I found out about David.
We have an old page on MySpace. I don't even know what the crap's on there anymore. Probably some recordings that are very rough, but if you want to check them out, go ahead.
But we played some shows together. Did I play solo or did I play with a band?
The only show.
Cafe Via.
Yeah, it was Cafe Via. Were you at that show?
No, I've seen videos.
Okay.
You had like this fucking mop head Omar.
I had long hair.
Long hair.
Dude,
He had a
dude.
mop.
He
yeah.
always was on.
It was,
short hair, long hair.
I think I was
you
doing
were
solo.
You were in Quicksand Castles. The
That's
band who
right.
played before was a guy and a girl that
It was
Family Ravens.
the
or
Out
something?
Family Ravens
Yeah.
from Visalia. Yeah, I was in a band called Quicksand Castle in 2010,
That's when I first saw you too.
and so I knew about. I had like another friend in Ocelot that I had heard about, and I checked out their music. I enjoyed it, and so that's how I found out about them. And I met up with David, and I really liked their music and thought they were good musicians. So that's how I hooked up with David. And then after Ocelot, they had the band Babu Dali, and then
Hard ass Dickens.
Oh yeah,
We
we
did
did that.
We did an
band.
indie band that was pretty awesome. It had like a weird like western indie experimental feel and like
Only
we
got
called
2 songs out of it, but
Yeah,
they're pretty
but-
cool songs.
Yeah, it was me, him, and his brother, and some pretty badass tracks came out of that.
I liked them.
Yeah, it was cool.
I didn't think that David would have the time, because I knew he was pretty much full-fledged with Babu Dali. But when I asked him and he said he was down for it, I was like, all right, cool. So that's how he kind of joined on with Pro Wings. And then,
Idle hands, man. Bad things.
so yeah, that's kind of how we all know each other and how we kind of met. And
Yeah, I even work with people that know Jay. He's like, he used to walk around in middle school with a little guitar. He's probably a badass guitar player by now.
You're like, no.
it's a small,
No,
small
are you talking about
town.
Jimbo?
It's a
Yeah,
real
I
small-
grew up.
Yeah, Jimbo.
We all grew up in the ghetto, dude, and
Yeah.
it was. I'm not gonna lie, like the ghetto was the ghetto. It was rough growing up in that neighborhood, but my dad still lives there. Nobody messes with him.
Nah, that's cool.
But what I'm saying is like
It's just a small place, man. Small
it
town.
is
Small
It's-
area.
Yeah,
But you know
it's
what's cool?
weird.
You know what's cool is I have a lot of respect for what we're doing, just because it's kind of hard to come across people that are into similar music and that have a respect for it. So yeah, it's cool. It's
That's
no.
cool,
If we
bro.
can find a connection like that, that'd be awesome to
Yeah, dude.
find a different continent that is supportive of.
That'd be
the band,
awesome, man. I would love to get out of the U.S. for music, you know what I mean? Just like have your music take you somewhere. That's incredible, you know?
Yeah, just
Who
to
wouldn't
have
want to travel doing
So
what
I'm
they
like,
want
dude,
to
I
do?
mean, like, if we ever got that trip,
Just
I would
go,
love to
like-
play in Greece.
Oh,
man, seriously.
anywhere, dude.
We'll play for free donations.
Yeah,
you know.
man.
Yeah.
How the
If
hell
one
can
of
you
us-
play for free overseas?
If one of us win the lotto, we're all talking hypothetically.
Hey, man, I
here,
signed
you
up
know.
for that St. Jude's home. We'll sell it and go.
Play on a floating door, man.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure playing with all of you guys. That's all I have to say.
Same
Yeah,
here,
for
man.
sure.
We Zach and his amazing Zach. I call him ZJ. His
Yeah.
middle name is Jules or Julian. sorry.
Julian.
So I call him ZJ because there's 2 Zachs, and ZJ over here, he's an amazing musician. I mean, like he's like in it. He's in it to win it, and you can just tell like he's just like, hey, I'm being serious.
It's just a funny thing to say. In it to win it.
It's
Hey,
winning.
he gives it 100%. I like that.
I
And,
feel like this project could take us somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And David over here, I really like his style of drumming. It's very similar to Zach's, or Zach kind of like picked up like a micro copy clone of David's over here, or like they just kind of like, but it's similar, but it's not at the same time. It's weird. It's they're both. I don't know. What I'm saying is like I really do like David's style of drumming. He's one of the best drummers I've ever played with in my life. And
For sure.
and Zach over here, I wouldn't have 4 different projects with him if I didn't like any musician. As a matter of fact, I've had so many like promotions or like opportunities to move out of town, or been invited to play in other bands, but they were out of town, and I won't move. I won't leave, and it's because like I found like I don't want to sound gay about this or weird.
I told you about him.
But yeah, I felt like my musical soulmate over here. Like we have so many like side projects going on, and a lot of them are unfinished, but still they are still going on. They're much
Dude, if you
alive.
weren't locking your door at night before, you gotta be doing it for now on, right?
Dude, hey,
Now, Jay's
hey,
always been really supportive. He's always been really supportive.
I got 3
Big
copies
shout
of his
out.
house key, dude.
One of the biggest supporters
Change
of
your
Pro
locks.
Wings, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a member, but I'm also a fan. You know, I'm also the president. You know, like no, for the band, but I'm also a fan. Like I really like the music. Like we mentioned earlier, before I was just a bass player, and that's mainly was my main style, like my main comfortable like instrument. I play guitar. I mainly play rhythm guitar. To play lead was difficult to play, to be out of my like my comfort zone, and like I definitely had to step outside of the box. And Zach and David and ZJ pushed me to be more efficient. I mean, like to the point where like I didn't have just band practice with the band. Like I had to take my guitar home, listen to the CD, and
Yeah,
practice. Yeah, I had homework, and it's definitely different. So, but I enjoy the challenges, and it's been fun. It's more fun than it is work. But I mean, at the same time, it is work. It's more like a leisure kind of thing, and it's one of my favorite things
I think
to do in the world.
I think regardless of anything, we all have like a mutual respect for each other.
Yeah,
We
for
all
sure.
have, so we all have different backgrounds, and we're all into the music, yeah. So that's what makes it fun too. That everybody has a mutual respect, and everybody knows what's up, and we all just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the only challenge that's been out there is, it's not about us getting along, which we do well. It's more about everybody bringing something different to the table and making it work. And that's really the challenge of playing with anybody. And that's the only thing that's been apparent to me. But we haven't necessarily wrote anything together yet.
yeah,
At least this 4 of a group.
Well, I mean, there's 4 of us, so there's 4 different
That's the challenge,
different
though, like I
opinions
was saying, that's the
of our
challenge,
future
but
together
that's
as a band.
part
yeah.
of the fun.
we jam every once.
It shows
every
how
once in a
good
while.
you really are.
Yeah, we've
like,
done some
it
good
shows how
jams.
strong you are, and it really showcases your talents.
I mean, David
to
cancels
see what you
practice a
can.
lot, and the 3 of us still practice and still jam out.
Dude, I've canceled like 2 practices.
2 times 5, right? No? Is that-
You're one to
Is that
talk. I gotta drive somebody to the airport.
My dad?
What about my family, Mr. J? I got family stuff too.
So anyway, we still jam out. We come up with some pretty cool
we
jams.
come out with some fat jams.
It's
really
it's never wasted any time, and we still come back. And at the end of the day, we still practice and we still play Marvel versus Capcom 3.
Yeah, and Zach beats the crap out of all of us. Zach
I don't
Rodriguez.
play.
Yeah.
If it was like Call of Duty or something, I'd be the one getting murdered all the time.
We get fucking murdered.
No.
Yeah. That's good though.
But no, we want to thank Screaming Rebels for hooking us up. And
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect
Fatties.
for that.
Fatties.
I know, Fatty
I
Alberts.
think Fatties.
Fatties, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'd
Yes.
like to
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
everywhere we've played for giving us the opportunity to have played
Yeah,
there,
you know what
and
I mean?
people who have given us the time of day to watch us.
Yeah, give us the
Like
time.
I said,
I'd like
we
to
couldn't do
thank
this
my
without everybody
family,
else.
and I'd like to thank Dan Powers especially
Oh,
for
definitely.
Yeah,
doing
thank you,
sound
Dan
at
Powers.
multiple
Thank you
shows
very
for
much.
us, and also recording our only track we have together.
Yeah,
It's great effort from him because
Spontaneous and last
Yeah,
minute.
you know,
that guy has a
he's-
badass pool.
he's a
Oh yeah, dude.
he's a great guy. He's only
Badass
helped us,
house,
and
badass
he hasn't
pool,
asked for
badass guy.
anything in return. So, very much thankful for him as a friend
Dan Powers.
and just helping us out.
Well, I don't know. I like to thank again Fatty Alberts for always giving us the opportunity. That's like our home,
Yeah, I mean-
our home base, kind of. You know, our
That's where we kind of started.
yeah, and then you guys for always providing practice space, and Zach's family, his wife, I mean, tolerates so much from us taking, raping his time away from his family.
Yeah.
We always take him away from his family. It's like, well, gotta go practice. I mean, I don't imagine ever telling my wife that.
I don't want to.
Well, I gotta go hang out with my best friends.
With the
and
6 pack
drink.
in his hands.
Yeah. Well, hey, honey, I gotta go with my friends and play music.
I got 8 freaking 4 6
I gotta
packs.
go.
Yeah.
They're forcing me.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Like,
twisted me.
oh, they're gonna kick me out of the band. I gotta go. Nothing like that. I would really like to thank
Yeah.
Lisa for taking all of the bullets for the band, because you know what? She tolerates so much from us. And even before that, like, we used to practice at Zach's house. Oh my gosh, dude. We were always turned up to all the way.
Yeah.
We would rock that foundation.
You ever got any cops calling us there?
Oh, we did once.
We did once.
We turned it down and turned off all the lights. Remember that?
Remember they drove by all slow?
Yeah, we turned off all the lights and we all went outside like we were just like hanging
We
out.
took
You
a
remember
break.
that?
We took a break
that's
and
what
we
it
were
was.
outside and the cops all driving.
Yeah, that's
slow.
what it was. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, yeah.
I'm all going like this, like they're pedaling shit, rather than like this.
Yeah, but as far as our hometown goes, Fatty's has been really supportive, and also,
Oh, yeah.
the new coffee shop, Rockin' Our House of Brews. I don't know if you've ever heard of that
Yes.
place, but it's a new
They're
coffee.
family
It's a new
members.
coffee shop in the courthouse on the top floor, and they have shows going on there now, like
All the time.
almost every week, and we'll be playing there again. And we played there for their grand opening with I Do Not
Perhaps that's
Exist.
where we will release
Ochre.
our live CD.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're really nice. My sister runs the show there. My cousin Angel owns the business, and so we'll definitely be playing there and probably be promoting some shows there. And but yeah, as far as the hometown goes, yeah, and then outside, Sound and Vision Foundation has been really supportive.
Aaron Gomes.
Aaron Gomes has been
We've come
really,
into
Really
contact
awesome.
with so many
He's an old
badass
friend of
bands,
mine,
you know
and
what
he's
I
been
mean?
really
I
cool.
Do Not Exist out of Fresno.
He's
They
asked
were
us-
just epic.
He's asked
Oh,
us to
dude.
play shows in
I still
Visalia.
watch
We
their
had to
YouTube
turn down,
videos.
so.
I haven't seen any of that.
I would like to thank
I-
seriously Sci-Fi Caper and
Ochre.
Ochre.
Yeah.
I Do
They're
Not Exist.
our brother bands. Really, like
Even bands that
I
come
didn't
out of
even
town.
realize till Zach said something to Amelia.
We've done so many
and-
shows with them.
We've done like 80% of our shows this year. We've done with them.
When I asked you guys to do the Scream Rebels, you're like, well, we'll do it if Sci-Fi Capers, and I was like, done. I was like, you guys don't know the co-host? My co-host is George. I was like, it's done.
George is just amazing. Every time I see him, he makes me smile. You know?
George is
and
a
we've
unique
known-
person.
We've known Amelia and her husband for
Before George was in the picture, we knew Sci-Fi.
Before
Caper.
they even had a drummer, yeah. We known Sci-Fi Caper, so they were really cool. We met them when they opened up for Calvin Johnson.
They're, honestly, probably one of the biggest sweetheart band people that we
Yeah.
know. really influenced me last year to kind of get my creative mode going. And one of them was this artist named Mark McGuire, and he kind of did this solo thing and like with guitar loops and stuff. And that kind of really motivated me to mess around with more guitar sounds, like guitar effects and stuff. And then I started listening to a band called Real Estate, and they kind of like reminded me of what I used to, of kind of like stuff I used to make up. Because before, I think when we got together the first time, I think some of the songs that we kind of started playing was stuff more where I was trying to sound like a specific sound, you know. And when I heard Real Estate, it was more of a, like, reminding me of stuff that I originally used to write and stuff. Kind of reminded me of what I used to do.
Yeah, last year, Zach, how I got into real estate was Zach, and he told me, he's like, I was going to go to Portland to go visit a friend. I was there for like half a month or whatever, and Zach was all like, oh dude, you know, like Real Estate's going to be in town, they're going to be playing at the Doug Fir while you're there, you should go check them out. So he made me a CD before I went. I was just like, oh wow dude, this band's really cool, you know. And then so I went to go check them out, and they were really good, you know. So, and then like, I don't want to say it's anything similar, but it's I don't know, it's definitely influenced, and so, but also DuckTales.
Yeah,
so
that's actually how I found out about Real Estate, was through DuckTales. I really like their sound. I just like, they're kind of like a lo-fi sound, and they use like a lot of different effects, like, I don't know, just like really reverby and really like flanger effects. And I just liked it, and it just seemed like it influenced me a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because there's so many different bands we listen to, you know, like me. Jay and I listen to Helvetia a lot, and
Duster.
Duster, and
A lot of the Static Cult label stuff, and we listen to the Prids. Zach and I have a lot of like mutual, like, he introduced me to a lot of stuff, and I introduced him to some stuff. How Zach and I we met through a mutual friend, and then he wrote these drum tracks just cause, and then so he invited me over to kind of, I felt like it was like a test, like a tryout. And so we called this project the Phantom Signal, which was off of The Life Aquatic from, what's his name?
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson, yeah. So, I played these bass tracks over these drum tracks that he wrote, and then he put guitar over it, and I felt like it was more like a test. So like I like the Phantom Signal stuff because it's more like yeah, you know, like I passed the test, and like he already had like some Pro Wing songs recorded and kind of like at that time, so it was more like I don't know, it was pretty cool. So that's how we met, and then he introduced me to Duster and a lot of the Static Cult label bands, and then so we just.
But like when we play live now, though, compared to the stuff that I wrote and showed the guys, it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit more powerful, you know, because like David added his flair to the drums. And just added a little bit more power to it, I think. When I wrote it on, like the demo that I had given them, it's just really like kind of like low key and like really low, but there's like more dynamics to it now when we play live. You know, same thing with Zach. You know, he adds, you know, his different, you know, flair to it as well, and it just makes it more. It just makes it different to the recordings that I gave him. The original sound that I had. With the songs, you know, this time around. So
we played a lot of good shows and met a good handful of people.
At that Fresno Brewing
It's
Company,
fun.
we actually came into contact with that Central Cal magazine, and we should be coming in on one of their issues pretty soon, right?
I believe so. I'm not
actually,
entirely sure.
We have a couple of demos right now in SenCal magazine, and they were actually out. They sent out a couple of photographers to the Erosi show, and they were taking pictures of us during and after the show and before the show, and you know, they were pretty stoked on us, and you know, we were excited to have them, you know, come out, you know, and so they've just been really supportive.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not sure what they're going to do with the pictures that they took, but right now in the current issue of SenCal magazine, they have a couple of our demos that are available for free download. would just say it's like, it's really dreamy. A lot of people that we come into contact with have said it's really dreamy.
Dreamy and spacey.
Yeah. And so, and I usually tell a lot of people, it's
Pink Floyd does indie.
Well, I don't even tell people we're indie anymore because
Indie's too broad.
Yeah,
That
it
doesn't really
is.
specify.
No, it
There's so
doesn't.
much
I just tell them
music,
we're
play indie.
So many
What the fuck is
subgenres
indie?
these days.
Exactly. Yeah, there is. I used to hand out flyers at like local colleges here. I was getting my EMT license, and what have you, and I was handing out flyers for our previous year, and when Andy was in the band, and they'd be like, "Oh, what are you guys selling?" I was like, "Well, it's kind of like indie," and they'd be like, "Oh, like Jack Johnson." I'm like, "Give me that flyer back." No, I don't want you. Yeah, and I'm like, no. And that's when I stopped. When I realized, like, okay, well, a lot of people have a different perspective on indie.
Yeah,
just like
it's
everybody
just
has their
broad.
different perspective on poetry and on like everybody has their own opinions, and that's great. That's what makes this world awesome. But
as far as
I
indie
don't-
goes, it's
yeah.
too broad now.
yeah, it is,
Yeah.
and
It's become progressive.
It's almost like you have to
As
make
far
up.
as
You have to
the
make up your own
description
description now. For them to get.
I
an
just
idea.
tell them, well, we're in a band, we make music, we make sounds. You might like it, you might not. So
Yeah, that's what I say. You like
Yeah.
it, you don't.
It's dreamy,
It's indie.
experimental indie rock. Going back to like as far as what our sound was and stuff, I've noticed a lot of people have referenced Pinback to us, and I love
The
Pinback.
old Pinback.
Well, I love Pinback,
Yeah.
and I think of it as a compliment when they mention them, but I don't really notice it, The only other band, like our friend Sci-Fi Caper, they I think we introduced them to Real Estate, and they said, oh yeah, we kind of hear like a little Real Estate, vibe. And
love sci-fi keeper.
so that's as far as going back to what as far as sound goes, yeah, Real Estate meets Pinback meets Pink Floyd meets
Zach Rodriguez,
meets Yanni.
That was a joke.
Johnny meets Creed,
Oh god,
Jack Johnson.
cheese wide open.
a little bit of Nickelback.
Yeah, a little Nickelback.
Yeah, actually, I used to play for Nickelback. Last night I was talking to my girlfriend, and then I was looking at trailers because I have a SUV, and we can all tour together, be in one car, and have like this closed off trailer. And I was all like, the cheapest one I found was like $1,600, and it was a pretty cool deal. It comes with all these shelves, closed off shelves. They look like milk crates, and you put all the equipment in there. And then I was like, oh, it's cool. And it's very chrome. And I was like, man, imagine if it said Pro Wings right there or whatever. And then I was all like, well, I definitely want to save up for that. Because if you go to U-Haul, that stuff runs you up by the day. And like it can be really expensive. So I'd rather just like pay it off in one lump sum. And they actually have a cheaper discount if you buy it in cash. So for me, what I envision us in the future, next year or the year after, is all of us saving up, because we all have day jobs. We all have our normal lives. We all work amongst the 9-to-5s, and I imagine us on doing like mini California tours to get us out there more, to have a bigger fan base, and to get us more recognition. Because we all have lovely smiles, and this one's got sweaty, beautiful hugs. His pH balance is...
Hey, you're the one that wants to touch me after I play drums, alright? And we don't have a freaking cooler in our band room.
Do we need one, dude? It's October.
Not right
We
now.
need to start a project for the cooler.
We did in the summertime. We did in the summertime.
I think this year was like a nice. It
was a nice.
Like it was a nice, almost experimental year for us to like test the waters and see what we're able to do, and I think it helped us out to figure out what we need to do, and so we want to definitely record, like have a full length album out for next year, and probably play more shows next year, and just basically do the same thing what we're doing, except for put something out, more merch out for people who are interested in the music. So
Definitely a goal is to make ourselves more available as far as marketing goes.
yeah, wanting to branch out to more like getting outside of the valley, playing more shows out.
Yeah.
Probably more northern California than Southern California. Like just keep on going north. It seems like there's more possibility more up north than there is going down south. Even though there's like San Diego, LA, we have I think more possibilities in like Oakland, San Francisco, Washington.
Yeah.
Well, we all have friends from here on north. We all have friends. San Francisco, Portland, Eugene, and then Olympia, and then So I think we would fit better more up north. But I mean, like it's really. We have to start off small. I mean, like we're just like a bunch of guys that all have 9-to-5 jobs. We're just a bunch of normal guys. So. It's
kind of hard to tell too, like exactly where we stand with the public, because we haven't really gotten out there yet. With the Central Valley, it's kind of hard, with experimental music, because not too many people are familiar with it,
Around here, they have this better of a mindset, like a Sublime kind
of. That know what's up. But I mean, but as far as majority goes. I think we need to play for a bigger audience, compared to this smaller populated town.
I'm not being judgmental against the Central Valley, but it feels like me living here in the Central Valley looks like they're still stuck in the 90s.
Yeah.
So with the sound music and everything else.
Where Sublime is still on the VH1 #1 hits or something.
And we're not talking about Sublime with Rome, we're talking about the old Sublime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong though, we've gotten some cool support from people in Visalia.
Fresno. Even here from Hanford.
Fresno's Visalia, I'm kind of surprised it has a really good scene now in Main Street.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we have our friends Ochre are from Visalia. They're really good. And of course, our friends from Fresno are Sci-Fi Caper. They're really awesome, beautiful people. Both of them. So like from both sides, really. What's cool is that we're all neighbors. We're all like just like literally like minutes away from each other. So we always like.
It's kind of having a little bit more of a revamp, on the local scene. I mean, we get some pretty good noise out here in Hanford. Our average setting is like 70 to 80 people at a Fatty show, what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good number.
That's not, just like Fatty's only holds like 120 or something.
It's crazy. That sometimes people still come up to me when we first started doing Pro Wings, is that nobody else has packed Fatties like we did. Yeah, that's just insane. Like there was
you gotta give some credit.
Like the fire marshal was even there. They were kicking people out because like it was just overpacked, and it was just a lot of body heat going on.
Yeah, Jay likes the body heat from men.
Central Valley thing, we I don't really feel as though a lot of bands, including us, really fit the demographic as far as fans go here.
No.
It's like, it's very specific. We live in a farm country right here, so they're looking
Yeah.
for more of that
Country.
folky, country, like Western style of music.
Which is cool, but
It's it's cool. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but it's obviously nothing that we do.
People
or a
aren't
lot of bands around here do.
they're not used to the sound, you know.
That's cool though. We all have a lot of ties, a lot of friends here and stuff. And
It's
I mean,
true,
a lot
but-
of us support us and stuff. So I mean, like just that. I mean, like us being a part of something so different, just kind of like
Well, a lot of people
might
don't
end
make
up
that one
changing
change.
this area. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're all really like young.
Do
We all
what
love
they
playing
want to
Hanford,
do as
you
far
know?
as music goes, and that's what I respect, regardless of, what I said, like fitting a demographic. Who cares? If you're having a good time and you have this little crowd of people loving it, that should be good enough.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good, and you just got to go elsewhere and find it. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about traveling and
That's-
playing for other people.
Yeah.
Do it that way. And as far as internet media goes, we talked about that also. We need to get something going there too, and that's what we're going to do in the future. That's a goal we've set for ourselves, and
Yeah.
we just have to
Honestly,
do.
like most of our fans that we have like on Facebook, like as far as like likes go, they're like mainly like a family and close friends. I
Friends.
think, you know.
A lot of
So if it
friends.
wasn't for them, it wouldn't be as cool.
We
you
have
know?
those rare people that just find us out of nowhere. Like I
And they're
noticed that.
super into it too.
I know,
Yeah, they
like,
are.
Remember
It's
that guy? That was
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Billy
Wow.
Granato. He's a really cool dude. From
Yeah, I was just
Visalia.
like really
Super
Big
cool
stoked
fan.
dude.
Big
just
very
fan.
stoked to
supportive.
be
He
introduced to him. He was really
He's in school. He's a full time
Enthusiastic.
student. He told us, he's like, man, I listen to you guys for studying
Yeah,
music, and you guys are just like awesome, man.
Yeah.
I was like, that. I took that as a compliment.
Yeah,
It's like
those are the kind of
studying,
people we just-
to find a good studying music.
we
it-
just
it-
love.
it
It's
takes
that
a lot.
connection
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
feel.
know, I mean,
My
people,
study
they just
music
love
was
it.
Beach House and Pink Floyd. Like that's what mine was.
If you're able to come across like
Zeppelin.
at least one person like that at a show, it's
I
like
like
it's
music
worth
to
it.
draw.
Wherever you are.
on Facebook. Facebook is a pretty big social media, you know, which is
Good help.
which you know it's a pretty big social media. But I mean, other than that, we have a Bandcamp page.
Reverb Nation.
We don't really do Reverb Nation anymore.
No, we don't.
No.
See, I'm the last one.
Apparently,
I'm the
on
last
Reverb
one.
Nation, we were supposed to play a show in Las Vegas a couple months ago.
Buffalo, New York, yo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I think the main ones is Facebook and Bandcamp. Yeah, those are like the two main sites, and they could drop us a line there or message us there.
And also, right now, we just released a song on 20 Sided Records End of Days compilation, and they have that set up on Bandcamp also. You can either buy the entire compilation or buy single songs for $1, and we're on there, so
Yeah, Sci-Fi
check
Caper's
them
on there
up.
too.
Yeah, Sci-Fi
Sci-Fi
Caper. I can't remember a lot of the other bands. There's so
Quiet
many bands.
Americans.
The Fay Rays.
But
Big Mittens.
we're looking to put our
Smalls.
single track on our own Bandcamp soon. That's one with all of us here. That's the
Yeah.
only track we actually have recorded
With all of us.
together as a band. And
That was a fun night.
I don't know
That
if
was really
we're
fun.
gonna put that on any type of CD we plan to put out down the road. That one will be up there soon for fun for the fans. So.
I think we might even have a couple of those compilations to give away
Yeah.
at the upcoming show. At
Yeah,
Go to the
Fatters.
upcoming show and show your support, and maybe you'll get yourself a free compilation disc.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is coming out
There's like-
after, but
Well, yeah.
You get
And always free buttons.
They'll
We've
get
always
those.
got free
We've always
buttons.
got the free buttons.
But honestly, there's a
you
lot of
get free hugs from Jay, and he'll let you play with his
Hey, we'll all hug
titties.
you. We'll hug you. We'll take a picture. We'll sign
I got
you.
flat
Whatever you
titties,
got.
dude.
There's a lot of good bands on that compilation, though. A lot of different styles as well. So I mean, it's definitely, sure to please someone with an open ear for music. So so it's a 20 Sided Records End of Days compilation number 3. So
And remember, it's not expensive on there.
Yeah.
Help support people.
Yeah.
It's not even going to us.
it's worth it.
It's for the people
Yeah.
who helped us out putting us on the compilation and allowing us to play that show and
Yeah, we can't do this without you guys.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's $1, or if you want to buy the whole thing, $10. So it's not very much money. So
Yeah.
whatever you can do.
And whoever watches this that have been supportive, we thank you guys.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
So,
God bless you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank you guys.
Right on.
Buy from Jay.